What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about C3.ai, go over some of the data points, technicals, and talk on if right now is a good time to buy or not. So I'm going to go over all that. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So when it comes down to Friday, it did close 7.09% down in the red, and it has been pulling back ever since their earnings. So their earnings were on the 31st. These are the transcripts here and kind of the summary, but still, generally, it was not that bad because, for instance, their earnings per share and revenue both beat based on the expected. So the forecast for earnings per share was negative 17 cents, reported was negative 13, and expected for the revenue was 71.34 million, and the reported was 72. So a double beat. But like I mentioned, as far as this whole run up, I did say that I did a video here and here, both saying that based on the technicals is showing that it is going to go up very fast. Then I did a video, I think it is on the 20th, somewhere in the weekend here, and I did say the upcoming earnings that you need to really be careful about, because if they give any hint of any negative future guidance, for instance, then it is going to go down very much so. And coincidentally, that is exactly the fact that they did kind of miss on, is their future guidance. It didn't come anywhere close to what the analysts are expecting. So when it comes down to it, yes, this might be a little bit more of a overreaction and that it could potentially still continue to trend higher, but I think it also kind of matched with the technicals. And what I mean by that is the technicals, things have gone up very fast, and that does skew a lot of the numbers. So stochastic has been very hot for a while, meaning overbought. So because of this recent pullback, it has caused it to cool down essentially, which is still fairly good. You do have a little bit more of a bearish sentiment behind the scenes, but you still see a massive amount of retail investors getting into C3.ai. So again, even though the earnings might not have been that bad, the technicals needed to have a little bit more of a pullback, because as much as it's very sexy for everything just to go straight up, that adds very little support. So this is in general why I like these pullbacks, because it's still very healthy for the stock. Bigger picture, and big money exactly loves these kind of things as well. And speaking of big money, these are all the transactions that did happen, as you can see on the dark pool, for instance, on Friday. A lot of big money. So 28.6 million. Actually, I'll extend this to 250, but 26 or 28.6 million there. And just generally speaking, these are all the transactions, as you can tell, just on the dark pool. Dark pool, some people don't necessarily like because it is sometimes linked to shorting fairly frequently. So I'll give you guys a quick overview of that, but there's a massive amount of money getting in. And while I'm still on this screen, I'll give you guys a quick overview of what happened on the secondary market. Secondary market is basically what you and I trade on, typical retail investors. And in that regard, there was a lot more transactions, as what you can see right here. No substantial ones, but still, when it comes down to it, definitely it's been the writing on the wall for a while now that big money has been secretly buying C3.ai for a while. Like I've said on my previous videos, they want it to go up. They knew this was kind of a pre-calculated run up. And for instance, to put that in perspective, as you can see right here, these are all the transactions. So this is updated information as of Q1 2023. All hedge funds did purchase a grand total of 1.656 million call options, and that is up 96.46% from the quarter prior. So of course they are buying call options because they are anticipating it to go up, and it did go up very much so. So again, if you're one of those retail investors that likes to follow what big money is doing, you definitely did the right thing. And for instance, if you look at all the 13F filers, it did have 10.18 million call options, and that is up 239% from the quarter prior. So behind the scenes, big money's been buying for a while now, and even kind of real-time stuff here, they are still continuing to buy. So in my opinion, I do feel that this technicals kind of reset it. So in reality, this might be a very good time to buy, but you really need to watch one thing, and that is right here. So of course, with it being at 32.26, it pulling back quite a lot, you really need to watch this 33.61. If it can successfully stay over that on Monday, for instance, then the trend is going to go up and it's going to go past hopefully that $44 range. But for any reason, let's say on Monday it does close below this 33.61, which will be the second consecutive day because Friday it closed at 32.26, then most likely you can anticipate around the $23 range. But keep in mind, I am not a financial advisor. You guys always do your own due diligence. So like I said, big money's been buying for a while. As far as options activity, at least in the short term, or at least from Friday, there was $25 million in call options that was purchased and $23 million in puts. So in that regard, a little bit more evenly divided in that aspect. And based on all the call options, this is the expiry dates, this is all the strike prices. Based on this, at least going into next week, it is anticipated to go anywhere from around the $32 to $36 range. So of course, options activity is just merely a sentiment. It does not move the stock price. Some other additional updates while I am on here. There was this, so C3.ai completes investigation into short sellers allegations. So it does look like there was nothing found. So definitely, I think that's a pretty good thing for C3.ai. But speaking on what shorts are doing, at least from Friday and going into next week, as you can see, I'll just pull this up right here. So Friday, they did increase 433.09 thousand shares. And right now, 30.33% of the free float is being shorted. And that almost works out to be 29 million shares overall being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 74.39%. So kind of high in that regard. But like I've said on over my last couple of updates, it has had a small little squeeze. And just going back over here, I'll quickly show you what I mean by that. Just getting rid of all the unnecessary stuff. So it was around the 33% range for the short interest. And ever since Cathie Woods and NVIDIA and all the other AI plays starting to go up, especially with C3.ai as well, it went down to around 26%. So it did cause a little bit more of a tentative squeeze per se, but with there being almost 33% short interest or 30% short interest, it definitely can go up very fast. The only thing it would need is a little bit more of a surprise catalyst. So there might be something coming down the pipeline. I'm not sure. I'll leave it up to you guys to kind of determine that in your heads. But based on at least the technicals, I do feel that as long as it can hold that $33 range, then it will be a very good buy at this level and most likely retest that $44 range again. So once again, let me know you guys' thoughts on all that in the comments below. Give yourself a shout out if you have been buying, selling, holding, and where you see things going. Do you think it is going to trend back down to around the $23 range, or do you think it is going to go to the around $44 range? We're kind of stuck in the middle. We're stuck at a very pivotal point right now. So once again, let me know you guys' thoughts on all of that in the comments below. Even though C3.ai is going up, down, sideways, doing its thing, what you can do is take advantage of some free shares, and that is with Moomoo. Link in the description below and also the comments. Moomoo also offers $0 commission, free level 2 trading, and all the fun jazz. But better yet, it gives you a free stock for opening up a free account. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of that promo while you can. Link in the description below and also the comments. And without further ado, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on C3.ai.